We have small caps tearing it up intraday, and it's worth mentioning a few here. The analysis performed will be on the fly, and like always, no prior script will be read for the duration of the analysis. Please remember that these assets are completely high risk and nothing should be considered as financial advice. Welcome back to the channel on this Taco Tuesday. This is ARCa, and let's dive into lightning round. Let's kill 'em, team. What is up, you guys, and welcome back to the channel. Please do me a favor and hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, do all the things necessary here to pull all the attention in to the ARCa Bulls members, right? Please go ahead and take a look at this ticker here, SLNA. So this is a mover today, 96.25% during the day, right? Huge signal. So please, the first thing that I want to notice here, that I want you to notice here, is actually this right in here, right? So let me just go ahead and adjust my the area box here because it's extending to the right? So there we go. So what I want you to notice is this candle formation. This candle formation is a typical reversal formation, and this could be considered a morning star reversal formation, right? So it consists of the short candle down here and then the space of these two candles on the right. This is a bullish formation, and it does indicate a continuation to the upside, but of course we can't use just one candle formation here to identify a continuation or the failure of such, right? So let's go ahead and identify a couple things here first. So let's go ahead and make this one solid chart here on the daily time frame and take a look at some indicators. So let's go to the 4-hour time frame, and I want to observe now volatility versus momentum and see how that's performing for us right now, right? So 4-hour time frame with a very massive upside signal here on stochastic momentum, and we're currently at critical expansion right now. We are facing a little bit of a contraction phase right here, so which could be the decrease, which could be the entire decrease of this bear pressure, and this could be the start of a continuation to the upside. Okay, what I don't like here is to see these long wicks that usually represents weakness on the bull's end. And there could be continuation to the downside even still. The 4-hour time frame, it will be over, of course, right? It's in about 4 minutes and 41 seconds. That's going to be the end of the post market here, and this is an inside bar right here. So there could be some weakness here in the immediate short-term time frame. So let's go ahead and identify that. Let's get a little more granular here and see what could be the potential, right? So I know that there's going to be a few people here saying that, you know what, it's actually looking like a little bit of a cup and handle, right? Of course, we can go ahead and identify things like that. So it would be something like this here, right? So this is going to be your that would be your cup side, and then we have the handle side somewhere down here, right? So whatever that is, and however we may perform this, it may actually be seen intraday tomorrow, okay? Because today, of course, we just have those last few minutes left, and that could be the end of the move here. Now, if this is truly, if this is truly a cup and handle formation, then there is the potential of an implied or a price objective, considering this formation. So let's go ahead and take that now. The way that you take the price objective is that this is very basic stuff, right, team? So you just identify the very top side, which is something like this here. Take the trend line from the center of the cup all the way to the bottom bound of the cup right down here, right? Just like this. And then you apply that to the top of where the handle is. So just about like this here, team. So if that's the case, you're looking at an implied target of about 33.50. We can go ahead and start a potential validation here by using other metrics. Let's go ahead and take an inverse fib here and see if that can take us to the upside. Well, there in fact is some correlation to the 2.618 Fibonacci retracement. So that's going to be 31.27 to about the price objective of about 33.72. So that could be an area to observe. Of course, we definitely have the 16.99 or 17-cent target, and that is also a range. So let's go ahead and take that into consideration too. So the 16.99 or 17, that could be in line with this top side of the resistance right up here, and that could land at about 15.86 to 16.98 on that way up. Okay, so that's only saying that it is that it would be on the way up. Okay, so Let me go ahead and now take a Fibonacci retracement from the entire swing, the bi-daily range here, top end to the bottom end, and let's see what that has to tell us. Okay, so let's go ahead and do it just like this here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because we're currently at a very, very bullish area. Okay, I'm not saying that this is going up, and I'm not saying that it's going to continue to the downside. I'm just giving you the bottom line basics here. Okay, so this is going to be your golden pocket. The golden pocket is located between the 0.618 Fibonacci ratio and the 0.382 fib, and price action is currently hovering right around the 0.5. If there was a retracement here, sure, I do think that we could be facing a bottom side of the 0.382, and I do think that there is a way for us to observe that bottom side. Okay, and that's actually in the form of maybe another tiny little formation on the 15-minute time frame. That would be a dead cat bounce. So that dead cat bounce may overshoot the target just a little bit, but this is a way for us to observe potentials, right? So that would be taking a trend line from the top of the cat to the very bottom side of that cat and applying it to the bottom of the trend, which would be around here, and that would take you to a target of about 547. Now, if we look at the fibs and see if there's anything at 547, well, maybe, right? We have a 5-cent target here. We have the 0.382 at 590, so it is kind of rhyming with this down here anyway. Okay, so now let's validate that downside. Let's get some stats up in here and take a look at what we can observe as a bottom side target. Okay, so the daily range is actually giving you a bottom side of 2 zeros. Wow. 2 zeros and 6 over here, which would be way, way, way down there. Not sure that we can even reach that, but I'm going to go ahead and just kind of decline that for a bit. Now, what I do find curious is that here you go, right? These are the targets here, 547. What I do find curious is that the lower bound of the first standard deviation multiplier is rhyming very well with that. This is 534, and we're looking at a 547 bottom with that dead cat bounce. I know I see a little bit of a head and shoulders here, but this head is a little too big for me to consider that. So just in case, right now, the other thing that we want to take a look at here is the current average true range low in the 15-minute time frame consideration here. That is also 587. So there is some rhyming indeed. Now, the daily ATR top is taking you to a target of about 8 cents, just about 8.5 cents. So if we are to observe that, then that would take us to the next golden pocket center. So that would be right here at the 0.5 at 8.5, right? So that's another bullish zone to be in, right? And we could use this as a bounce to continue on to the upside. The targets that I provided up here, of course, please know that these targets would be completely long-term, and they would be completely conditional upon the continuation of buy-side interest. Okay, so if that's the case, let's go ahead and take a look at the hourly time frame here and see how volatility versus momentum is looking, right? So the hourly time frame already is getting the pullback here from that initial thrust. Bi-hourly time frame is starting to feel that too, but it left the 3-hour with an upside pivot and expansion. It left the 4-hour with an upside pivot and expansion here too. The 6-hour time frame has an upside with expansion. The 8-hour time frame has that upside with expansion, and the 12-hour has that upside with expansion. Let's see the daily time frame. The daily time frame as well has that upside pivot and expansion. So that means that this move, if we're speaking in technical terms, it's not done, and there is a high likelihood for this to continue on to the upside after a short-term pullback. And I would start to observe the targets that I mentioned just a little bit earlier, right into that 859 to maybe the 9-cent level at about the 0.618 at 0.923. Okay, so that's gonna be it for ticker symbol SLNA. Let's take a look at ticker symbol MGAM, right? So this is MGAM on the bi-daily time frame, and I want to go ahead and point out this candle formation just like we did on the prior analysis, right? Take a look at this here, and that is going to be your long green-bodied body of the candle engulfing the prior red body, right? So, and wick in this case, right? So that's a very powerful bullish signal. It's called a bullish engulfing candle formation, and usually happens at the bottom of a trend for a reversal signal. And seeing that the prior candle pair was a bearish formation, in this case, that was your bearish engulfing right in here, right? That is your red body engulfing the prior green body. And you can see that it definitely respected it. Here's another bearish engulfing too. So that is all giving us some pretty good hints as to, there is a higher likelihood that candle formations are being used here for price continuation. So if this is the case, what's to happen? Right? First of all, I'm not liking that we have this huge wick to the upside. That means that the bears definitely took control here, and the bulls couldn't hold the top price here, right? So, but it did end. So let's actually see on the daily time frame, right? Yeah, daily time frame price action did end at a positive 77.78% today. Huge price action. So now let's zoom out. Let's take a look at what's been happening here. So it looks like MGAM tends to have these pumps to the upside, and then they tend to release. I can't say that there could be a continuation to the upside, but what I can tell you is what the charts and indicators are saying, right? So price action right now is indicating that there could be weakness still in the market. So right away, I can identify a bottom support right around this area here of 20 cents. So let's start kind of jotting that down, at least to keep discretion on our side. So that's going to be a bottom side of about 2017 to 1812 at the top of this range here. And then there could be a bounce, but I'm not sure that there's going to be a bounce to recover it completely. Okay, so if that is the case, then let's take a look at some stats here and see what's up, right? So stats are saying that we could pull back all the way to about 8 cents. But then again, we definitely had the current ATR top at 15 cents, and you can see that this thing reached all the way to 36 cents, right? So why don't we pull up the 24-hour chart and see what that has in line for us? Okay, so even in the 24-hour chart, it is suggesting that this could pull back to 7 cents. So that is a massive drop, and I don't think that it's because of expansion, team. Okay, so your average true range will expand upside and downside, and this is why you're getting such a wide range. Okay, so if we were to continue to the upside here, then let's look at your 12-hour time frame and see if we have anything actually we do. So the 12-hour time frame average true range is telling us that we could resist at about 25.19, and 25.19 is a very curious target because it is very well right up in this area here. So that's going to be a top side of 25 cents, right? So we got to keep that in mind as far as a resistance target. Okay, so if price action were to come right back up here, let's see what the case would be. So yeah, immediate short-term time frame RSI facing towards the downside here. This is likely that we would come back down into the zone first before a bounce. If sentiment does agree with what we're talking about here, then there may be a bounce to the upside, and that upside may be, it may be consistent to that 25-cent top. If that 25-cent top does not get realized, that is because we have a specific area here to keep in mind as far as price action, and it's called fair value gap. It's going to be this wick top to the wick low of this one here with the body in between, right? So that's going to be your fair value gap resistance, and there very well could be price rejection right in that area. So keep in mind here 22.12 to 23.25 before this 25-cent zone, but of course we're looking for a pullback before the upsides here. Okay, so that's going to do it for ticker symbol MGAM here, and let's go ahead and move on to the last ticker, and this is going to be ACRV. On the daily time frame here, this thing ended up with a red body candle, but plus 62.77% up on the day. So I want to point out something in the 5-minute time frame here because there is something curious, right? So notice how price action completely exited this EMA 200 orange line and the SMA 50 teal line. We completely blasted through this. And then we use that SMA 50 as a guide towards that upside, eventually taking the EMA 20 as that ride to the upside too. Now we started failing this 5-minute time frame EMA 50, right? So now we have the crossover of that EMA 20 and the SMA 50, and it looks like now we just crossed over to the downside under the SMA 100 blue line too from the SMA 50. Now there is a strong red body here in the 5-minute time frame, indicating that we may be able to come back and test the power hour low right around $9.12, which is equivalent to your EMA 200. Not to mention the equivalence of the day's low at the SMA 200. Okay, so that naturally tells me that we have a range for us to observe in the coming session early, right? So that would be right about here. The space between 880 and 912 could be an area for us to pull back, validate support, and then continue on to the upside. I'm not ignoring the fact that this is, in a sense, a little bit of a head and shoulders formation here, right? On top of another head and shoulders formation. So this very well could be the end of the move, but we have to react and we have to observe what the probabilities are. Okay, so now let's go ahead and pull out of this and take a look at the other chart here. Pull back into the, you know what? Yeah, the hourly time frame and see how price is behaving here. Okay, great. Let's pull up the stats window and we shall move. Okay, so let's take a look at this. This is going to be, okay, daily time frame telling us that we have a resistance at about 11 cents. We could push up just about, wow, yeah, that would be a nice little push to the upside here. So 11 cents, 11.06, right about here, which makes a lot of sense. So I'm going to go ahead and pair that with a range. So just about that 11.06 top, which is this candle wick top, to about this wick top right here. You're looking at 1068 to 11.06 as a complete range, right? So observe this area first. We're looking at a potential drop into the zone of about 880 to 912, and then resisting at about 1068 to 11.06. If there is anything to stop price action from getting there, then of course we have a fair value gap, just like the other tickers here, to observe. That's going to be between the targets of about 967 to about 1001. So right in between this wick here and this wick here, with the body in between. So so I'm thinking here that we would get first the downside resistance, validation, continuation, and then failure, right? So maybe we could do something like that. Please be careful. Please practice with risk management, and never bet more than what you're willing to lose, okay? But very, very powerful signal here, starting from the 4-hour time frame, upside pivot in the bullish control zone with expansion happening currently on the volatility heat map. And take a look at the 6-hour time frame, also huge upside pivot with continuation of expansion on volatility. 8-hour time frame upside pivot, yeah. So I'm looking at early session here, pullback before a continuation to the upside. I would say mid-session tomorrow there's continuation. After NYSE lunch, maybe power hour, around there. So heads up with the play here, but it's looking not bad. And remember that these are just I'm talking about on the fly analysis here. So if it works out, congratulations. If it doesn't, well, you know how it happens in the markets. The markets is going to do its damn thing every single day, and it's going to be chaotic just like it is every single day. So please remember, team, I am definitely offering 8 to 12 week mentorship program, and also the reopening of my my beginner's mentorship. And I'm going to go ahead and squeeze an 18-week program down to maybe around 4 to 5 weeks in preparation for the strategies mentorship that's going to happen right after that. So please get in touch with me at ArcMastersCourse at gmail.com in order for you to become a member of the ArcMasters, okay? And I will go ahead and include a link in the description below for you to join the ARCa Bulls trading team, where we are trading every day of the financial markets. Okay, team, really appreciate you for coming on by. I hope you enjoyed this first round of the lightning round. All right. Please take whatever I do show and iterate within these videos as just a form of entertainment, as I cannot suggest for you to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. I need you to do your own due diligence, and everything will be absolutely cool. But with that said, team, I wish you well, a very, very good rest of your night and or day, and I will catch you at the bell mañana. Adios, team.